Hello. So this video, I'm going to go through all the manual settings, um, excuse me, on and the modes on the TM7. So I'm going to bring you up really close so that you can see the screen. So that, of course, is our home screen. And we're just working down the side here, and we're going to where it's got the little set of blades. So this gives us everything. We've got our manual mode here. So if you are, like a land crawling over then, if you have been a TM31 owner, you're probably very used to manual cooking. If you're not, don't worry about it. I would stick to guided cooking until you get confident. But then I know that a garlic clove is 3 seconds on speed 7. So if I wanted to chop up some garlic or something like that, then that is what I would do. I would set that up there and then hit that and it will do its own thing. All right, so that's manual mode. You can also cook in here. Now, what is actually really important, reset, is and reset that one. Okay, so if you are using manual mode and you want to cook something, you absolutely have to set the time first. It's a safety feature of the TM7 and the TM6 and other Thermomixes that if you do not set a time, it will not heat. So if you wanted to cook something for whatever, let's go, say 20 minutes, um, and your temperature might be 100 and your speed is generally only 1 or 2, although if you're doing rice you would have it on speed 4. So let's pretend it's rice 4, and then you would in fact you'd probably want it on stir, and then you'd hit go. All right, so it will not heat unless the time is set. So always go left to right. If you don't need heating, you don't need to work. Well, you still might still want the time, but you won't have this. So we'll reset that back to 0. Yeah, so time, temperature, speed is always the direction that you do your manual cooking in. All right, so the next mode here we've got is the pre-clean. All right, and it actually shows us tips. So this top corner here, we can go to tips. It says put a maximum of 1 litre of water into the bowl. Add a small drop of dishwashing liquid or 50 grams of white vinegar. For the browning option, you only use vinegar. All right. Select your pre-clean option and hit start. So I can hide those. And then here, so this is the browning one. So the reason that you have white vinegar, not dishwashing liquid, is that is the longest and the hottest clean, and it will get a bit frothy in there. So yeah, absolutely. You've got a 1 litre mark you can see in the inside bowl of your Thermomix. And if you can guesstimate, honestly, or you could weigh it if you really wanted to. But it's 1 litre, 1 drop of dishwashing. In fact, I usually don't put any dishwashing in. I usually just do water. Stainless steel bowl doesn't hold on to odors or flavors. If you think I'm making all that up, you will know that it is actually if there is any odor, it's the inside of the lid that holds onto a little bit, but pop that out in the sun and that should go too. So a quick clean, 2 minutes, a universal clean, that's the one I use most of the time. Dough, so if you've made dough in it, obviously use that. Browning and fat or caramel. Excuse me. Okay, dough mode. So I only use this in the guided cooking pretty much. So it is for obviously pizza, bread, all those sorts of things. And it is usually for 2 minutes. All right. And then all you would do is hit that and it's going to knead the dough for you. Someone was asking me yesterday, they'd heard that you might need another hook for you to make dough. No, the blades are really brilliant. You do not need another attachment in there for dough making. All right, browning. So this is the high heat option, which is only available, well, in previous model, well, only in the TM6 previously, and in that model, it was only available in the guided cooking. With this model, you can do it manually. So you'd set your time, that is the temperature. So it's going to be it'd be for caramelizing onions, but there are also recipes on Cookidoo. So you don't need to do it manually unless you really want to. There is a gentle one and there is one that is more intense. Still the same time. Not quite sure what the difference is between them, but I guess, well, I don't know. I need to find that one out and I'll let you know. All right. The next one is steaming. So um, people who've had a Thermix before will know that you could steam from the manual settings. In here, it's a new mode. So it's set up. You've got your Varoma there. It doesn't matter. It might not be a Varoma. It might be the simmering basket, but it is ready for steam. So it's 10 minutes. It will be on probably 120, but we can't see that temperature. And that's basically a setting. Now, again, let's show the tips. Actually, we'll go back to that gentle and intense, see if it tells us anything in there. It's a minimum of 500 grams of water in the mixing bowl, an extra 250 grams of water per 15 minutes. So if you are steaming something for 45 minutes, you need to put 750 grams of water in there. Okay. Um, Pop your simmering basket in or the Varoma, set the time and tap start. Okay. So we've got the time. You've got the speed there. It's generally speed 1 when you're steaming. It's on reverse, and that just shows that it's steaming. If you remember the previous video, we went back and just to show you, this is a shortcut when you don't have to think about too much and you can steam your broccoli this way. All right, so your broccoli florets in, you pop your water in, and you decide if it's simmering basket or Varoma, hit the tick, and there it is. It said you 11 minutes. So and that's got the simmering basket in. Okay, it shows you that picture there. If we go back and say we're using the Varoma and tick, it's got a picture of the Varoma. So that's the simple way to do your steaming, is to go back to all these. Sorry, I should be doing that much quicker. All right, I just want to go back into the browning and see if it's got any tips there. Show tips. All right. Okay, so here we are. Here's the answer. For gentle options, 20 grams of oil and ingredients in even pieces, but not chopped. Okay, so your onion in wedges or rings, vegetables in slices, etc. For intense option, after preheating in manual mode, see tips, add the ingredients in cubes or strips when browning meat and even pieces, but not chopped for vegetables. Set the time and temperature, select gentle or intense, and tap start. So gentle, yeah, so gentle, it's like bigger pieces, and the intense, it's smaller. I like the tips. All right, let's get out of that. Turbo. Now, anyone who's known me for a while will know that turbo is my absolute favorite mode. And the thing I love about turbo, I'll just give you an example. So, oh, make sure there's nothing in there. 1 second speed 1, all right? And I can increase that. So that's 1 times 2. Oh, this is intensity. Okay, I'm just going to hit that. So what turbo does is, if you can imagine that you've made dough, or you've made a cake mixture or something, you get everything out that you possibly can, but there's stuff left around the blades and you don't want to waste it, because honestly, if you don't turbo after you've made a mixture for a cake, you've missed the muffin. So you scrape everything out of the bowl. You always scrape down to the bottom and then scrape round in a clockwise direction. And then you put it back on and you turbo, and everything that was on the blades gets spat onto the outside here. So I love it for that. The other thing I really love it for is if I need a super dry bowl. So I might have been doing some cooking and then I've got to make almond meal. So I wash my bowl, I dry my bowl with a tea towel, but then I turbo. And you'll find that there are drops of water that have come off the blades onto the outside, here of the bowl. So I do that, I dry that off, I turbo again, and I dry again. Excuse me. So that's turbo. Absolutely love it. It is also used in some recipes as well for a super quick, fast chop. All right, let's get out of turbo. Blend. This is an automatic blend. It comes up in quite a few recipes, but basically, if you want to make your own smoothie, then you can pop your ingredients in and you can go, right, I want it to blend for a minute, or it could be 2 minutes. Oh, that was adding. Oh, I'm adding. I want to go down. There's a immune boosting juice that I make, and I have it every morning, and that is 2 minutes on speed. I think it's speed 9, but whatever, speed 8's fine. And then you just hit that, and it's going to blend it for you. So that's really good for smoothies and things like that. This is awesome. The egg boiler mode, and again, we've got tips up here. So 2 to 6 medium eggs. I don't know if you can see that picture very well, but it is directly into the bottom of the bowl because the blades do not turn in this mode. So in previous models, actually TM6 had this as well, but other ones, you had to put any eggs you were boiling into the simmering basket. Don't have to do that now. They go straight in here. You put cold or room temperature water, and these are eggs from the fridge, okay? Up to the 1 litre mark. Choose a desired cooking time. When it's finished, transfer your eggs to the simmering basket, rinse. Okay, so let's hide the tips. So you can have a soft boil egg, and it shows you that the yolk's soft, okay? And the white will be obviously a little bit hard, but a medium soft, a medium hard, or a hard boiled egg. And what I love about this is, you know, if you're making a hard boiled egg on the stove, or hard boiled eggs, probably just don't do one, then you have to be there monitoring it, okay? You want to make sure that the water doesn't, it doesn't boil dry, etc., etc. So with this, you can put this on, you can go out and take the dog for a walk and come back and it's done. I've also heard too, I'm not big into soft eggs, but I have heard that you can do these, a medium soft or a medium egg, and they will still be medium even when they've been cold. So that's those. And we'll just go into the arrows here. Excuse me, drink of water. Apologies for the coughing. Open lid cooking. Now, in the open lid cooking here, basically, the lid is off. So you're using it very much like a saucepan. Okay, let's look at the tips. Prepare ingredients and add to the bowl. Select a time and temperature from 37 degrees up to 100. Tap start, and while cooking, stir gently now and then with the spatula. Okay, it is used at the end of some recipes that have pasta and rice in it. I haven't used it manually like this though. All right, kettle mode. Now, be interesting to see what it says about this. Show the tips. I don't use kettle mode very much at all, but basically you can add water to a clean mixing bowl. Don't add any other liquid to avoid overboiling. Set the temperature and start the mode. So they're just using it there for cleaning. But obviously, if you're in a small apartment and you just need a kettle, then you can do it in here. A kettle itself will be quicker. But you could also be doing, right, okay, I'm doing a herbal tea and I want it 85 degrees. So you can absolutely use it for that. Warm up mode. Again, we'll have a bit of a look at the tips. So you can reheat food in here. So milk, soup, sauces, stews, ensure there's enough liquid so the food can move freely and be heated thoroughly. Set the temperature target and the speed. So in this mode, you don't set a time because the Thermomix is actually working out when that temperature has been hit. So if I was doing a soup or something, I would go, I'd have it, a chunky soup, I would have it on speed 1, or I might even have it on stir, and it's on reverse. Okay. But if I was doing a smooth soup, I might put it on speed 2, which means it's going to reach that temperature quicker. Not that it really matters. It's just sorting itself out in the background. Okay. Rice cooker. So this comes up in a lot of recipes anyway, but let's have a look at the tips, because if you can learn how to do it yourself, if you are a regular rice cooker, which I'm not, then you can learn exactly what quantities you need. So basically, you're going to weigh the rice. It is absorption method. you double the weight of the rice to water. So, sorry, you have rice and then you double the amount of water to rice, and then you add 50 grams more and 75 grams more of water if you're cooking 350 degrees, 350 grams or more. Add salt and oil and tap start. So basically, you weigh it all in, you hit start, and off it goes, and it knows when it's done. It's awesome. Thicken mode. I generally just use this in the guided cooking, so think bechamel sauce, hollandaise sauce. If you've never made bechamel sauce in the Thermomix, it is awesome. You know how you, on the stovetop, you melt your butter, you add the um, flour, you make a roux, and then you gradually stir in the milk. And you have to stir the whole time so it doesn't get lumpy. Bechamel sauce in the Thermomix, whack everything in. Brilliant. Let's look at its tips as well. Prepare and add ingredients to mixing bowl, choose temperature, and start. So that will, it's also gravy, it's custard, all those sorts of things. Okay, slow cook. Now, should have pulled this out. So slow cooking, you can cook up to 8 hours here. I think that's the longest you can do. I'm just trying to find my blade cover peeler. Do that before. All right. This is the blade cover peeler. If you don't have one of these, or it's worth getting. So if you were slow cooking something, some of the slow cooks are literally, they're just, oh, hang on. They might be 1 hour, 1.5 hours, all right? So you probably wouldn't need to use this. But if it's something that's going to be in there for a long time and it's meat, you don't want it to be shredded by the blades. So you can pop this over. I'll show you how that works. So it just pick it up this way. So those little flanges have to go down over the blades and just fiddle around until it sits on. So there it's just clipped in place. So it sits in there and it stops your meat from getting too shredded. Awesome thing that you can shred meat in the Thermomix just quietly. All right, put these back in again. So yeah, and if you're doing a slow cook recipe from Cookidoo, this will come up in the slow cook because that's obviously what it's, oops, to do that. All right, fermentation. Make your own yogurt. There are various ways you can do it. You can do it with little jars in the varoma, or you can do it in the bowl. And this one I think is bowl. Prepare and place the ingredients either in the mixing bowl or the varoma. Set time, temperature, and tap. So I would absolutely find a recipe and do this, and it's a really cool thing. It's a great way to save money. You can do coconut yogurt and things as well. Sous vide. So if you've never done sous vide, it literally means under a vacuum. And what that is you put something into a food grade plastic bag, you push all the air out of it. You can do that by putting it in water and letting the water push the air up to the top. And then you can sous vide in here. Again, the blade cover peeler is fantastic for volume for this. If you've just got cooking for two, you can put your plastic bags in the simmering basket. If you need to cook for more, you put this on there, in there, and obviously your bags won't shred. So here, place ingredients in a sous vide bag, place the bag in the simmering basket or on the blade cover and cover with water. Remove just the sous vide bag, set 5 to 10 minutes desired temperature and tap start. Place the sous vide bag with the ingredients back in the mixing bowl, set time and temperature and tap start again. So this one is just heating it up. So I would absolutely follow a recipe for that one as well. What else have we got left here? The peeler. So peeler mode, you do need the blade cover peeler. This has got little serrated edges on it. And you can peel potatoes in here. You can peel round things. I wouldn't peel carrots. I did try once. You lose too much of the carrot. But this is fabulous for potatoes. If you eat potatoes, we're not really big into potatoes, but garlic, a whole lot of garlic you want to peel, pop it in here with the blade cover and use that, or ginger. And then you can just freeze flat in the freezer and bag up after that. So the tips are put the peeler on the blade, making sure the two high sides of the peeler are on top of the high position blades. Basically just fiddle it on till it works. Add water. and your maximum of 800 to 600 to 600 grams of water, maximum 800 grams of vegetables or garlic or whatever. Um, Default peeling time is 4 minutes. And then you can use your Varoma dish to drain everything. But that's fantastic. Now the last three here, these we don't have available yet, but they are ready to go when the Thermomix, the TM7 cutter and spiralizer are available. So that's hopefully a really good rundown on all those modes. So I'll leave it there. Otherwise, it just gets a bit overwhelming, I think.